Good evening, rock fans. This is Brad.
I'm Amy.
This is Mikey B.
Those are people's fingers.
He doesn't have his headphones.
We're missing one more introduction.
Right?
Come on, we're missing one introduction. Come on, Beardy.
Come on, peeps.
He's trying to share stuff right now.
Yeah, he's copy and pasting all over social media.
The epic countdown and everything, man.
Right? He'll be back. All right, we've got Kyle from Mothership with us. Thanks for joining us.
Fantastic. How we doing?
You mentioned it's been a crazy day.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just got back from Vegas, and I'm trying to get back to normal life. I spent, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days in Vegas. Usually 2's my limit. So there 5 days in Vegas, 1 full day of recording and 1 day of playing. And getting back to normalcy is a little crazy. But
nice.
Yeah, 5 days in Vegas is long. It's definitely long.
Yeah. I'm not really a gambler either. So it was mostly just drinking and playing. So there's no breaks.
You do that here a lot cheaper, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Man, you guys got a lot of cool stuff in your backgrounds, man. Look at that guitar. It's hard for me to pay attention. I just want to look and see what's going on in each of your cameras, like your little
right.
Hubs.
Give you a little tour of the man cave. Yeah.
Your little rock and roll hubs.
Got some Mothership stuff up here.
Up there, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's that's first album poster up there.
Yeah. I have to break these out because they're in the collection, So
which one is that? Is that the colored? Oh man, you got them all.
Yeah.
Like you're ready for another one or something, huh?
Yeah. Is that what you guys were recording, possibly?
Actually, sadly, no. We were not recording a new record, but we were recording a Motorhead compilation in Vegas. It was this new label that just is a spinoff from Psycho Las Vegas, the festival we just played. It's called Psycho Wax, and it's it's pretty cool, man. Mothership recorded Bomber for the album, which is one of my favorite Motorhead tunes. And then about 24 hours before I flew into Vegas, I got a phone call seeing if I could record bass on Ace of Spades and Love Me Like a Reptile. Ace of Spades we played before, cool. So I knew that one. But Love Me Like a Reptile, it took 24 hours to get the song down. So I flew in, landed in Vegas, straight to the studio for like 8 or 9 hours, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think we probably did 6 takes of Bomber, and we just did it straight up live recording. All the solos are live in the spirit of Motorhead, right? But yeah, so like Gary Holt from Exodus and Slayer is going to be on the album. Phil and Son was singing on Ace of Spades. High on Fire is doing it. I Hate God's on it. It's like an all-star cast, man. And so it was, in my opinion, that was the highlight of the trip for me was kind of setting some things in the iron with those guys. But yeah, so that was what we recorded.
And what was the name of it? Is it Psycho Entertainment or was it?
It's if you go to Psycho Wax, like WAXX, Psycho Wax. There's a pre-sale going on right now. I don't even know if I could figure out a way to link that right now, but I'm not sure if I could even link during the broadcast or whatever. But
we can.
If you go to our Instagram, Mothership USA, we've got posts about it. You can, jump over to it. But so that was cool. It's always nice getting into the studio. You kind of wish you could just stay in there for another week and record another album's worth of stuff. But the studio in Vegas is great too. It's really, really cool studio. But yeah, man, taking care of business, trying to as much as we can this day and time. Everything's so unknown, and it's kind of like you don't know when you're going to play next or what's going to happen. But
so, you guys have anything else on the calendar right now?
Not right now. Not right now. We did that Tree show a couple weeks ago, which was great turnout. I think it was close to 300 people showed up for that. And we played a little over 2 hours. I don't know if did you guys make it out to that show? Did you guys catch that one the other night?
I did not. I wish I would have. Peoples, did you make that one?
No, I was working.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It was a good one, man. It was a good one. a good first show back. We kind of wanted to challenge ourselves, playing a bunch of songs we haven't played in years, coming off of almost a 2-year hiatus. So yeah, that was really good. Then we went down to Austin and played a show, and then we just finished at Psycho Vegas. So we were kind of kicking around the idea of doing a November tour. Just everything's just so unknown right now. Some people were a little bit skeptical. They wanted to hang on to see what the COVID stuff was going to do. And we were just like, let's just focus on writing some new stuff. And, when things get back to normal, we'll get our booking agent involved. And we've gone this long, we've already been through our ups and downs of depression and anger and whatever, every other emotion. I'm sure every musician's gone through. I'm sure everybody's gone through, really. So we're just kind of in a holding pattern right now. Just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen, and just trying to just take it day to day.
I understand. And you guys are still with Ripple Music, right?
Yeah, we're actually talking right now about releasing another album with Ripple. We've got some ideas. Next year will be our 10-year anniversary of the first album that you just held up a minute ago.
Okay.
So that one came out. It was released on Ripple in 2012. We actually self-released that in 2011. That album right there, yeah. So we've got some cool ideas for that. We just had a good little meeting not too long ago talking about some really cool stuff for the fans that we're going to do. Some B-sides, some rarities, some covers, some unreleased, pictures and stuff like that. Really cool stuff for the fans. So we're talking about doing that while kind of negotiating a new record deal. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys turned me on to Ripple Music. First heard you guys and then kind of went out and started going through some of their other catalog. And I just order random 3 or 4 records from those guys and check them out. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's like they don't really miss, man. I mean, we've got such a good ear for music, and then there's so many hungry bands right now. It's really just kind of like him just kind of putting his feet to the ground and finding these bands. But yeah, man, those guys are doing great. They're throwing festivals. Like, I mean, they're really taking off, and we're just happy to have kind of been that first band for them to kick off this chapter of their record label. Because when we had joined up, they were doing a lot of re-releases, a lot of cool 70s re-releases, 70s rock bands, and they really hadn't signed like an active band. They had maybe one, maybe two, but when we signed with them, we were like, hey, we want some limited edition wax. We want to hit the road. Like, we need a whole bunch of press. Like, I mean, we kind of just were like, this is what we want to do. So he embraced it and got us everything we needed and helped us out. So it's cool, man. I love Ripple.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've got a rather large vinyl collection, and love kind of just searching through some of the Ripple catalog and picking 1 or 2 out. So yeah, I was just looking. They've got the Motorhead pre-orders up, double LP. Got some cool looking wax. One of them looks like a giant poker chip. I don't think I've seen that before. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's going to be an etched. So like the second album will be an etched like picture disc. So it's going to look like a big, massive poker chip with the Motorhead, on it. So
yeah, it's got the Ace of Spades logo, and the other one looks like it's kind of a blue wave marble to it. So $45 for a double LP. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know if you could post that up or how that works, but there's comment. Let's see it. I'm starting to figure this out, guys. I had like literally 1 minute to figure out. Scott Bond stuff. Literally, like, I'm like, I don't even know if my laptop was charged. I just got done doing yard work. I mowed over like a piece of. They're building a new car wash behind my house, and so there's how it is. There's scraps and like that. I mowed over a piece of like metal wiring that just stuck into my leg.
Oh no!
Yeah, so I just pulled that out about 20 minutes ago, and just watching it right now, just making sure that the the blood doesn't fill up on my floor. You know what I'm talking about.
I hope your tetanus is up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind
Make sure you
of
don't have to recauterize it.
Yeah. So I've already got my first round of peroxide and cleaned it. I think I'll survive, guys.
I'm glad to
I
hear.
think
That's
it'll be
pretty
okay.
metal, though. It's pretty metal coming to.
It is pretty metal. Coming
Hole
into
in
an
your
interview with
leg.
some metal
Yeah.
sticking out of my leg, you know. That's how it goes sometimes.
That's awesome. So I have to ask the question: how do you know Jeremy Peoples?
For crying out loud.
Right?
Oh my god!
We're starting this already. This is
Yeah.
early.
I mean, that's.
Sorry, I was here earlier. So,
I mean, just from like the Dallas scene, man. Really, I mean, shows and bars, and I bartended at Reno's for I don't know 6 years, I think 5 or 6 years. So I'm sure we had many late nights in Reno's, and Deep Ellum, hanging out down there and seeing shows, and yeah, I mean, we happen to see each other at a lot of the similar shows, so I think we've got some of the same tastes in music and.
We didn't know if you had any like embarrassing high school stories about him or anything.
Yeah, I don't
In
know.
general.
I mean, it's maybe I don't know how many years it's been, but yeah, I think I'm older, but I mean, it's still Deep Ellum family.
Yeah. I mean, we've really never like hung out outside of shows or Deep Ellum and stuff, but if I usually it's easy to see him across the room at a show. That's for sure. That big ass beard. I'm jealous, man. Mine would be that long if I would just stop cutting it, but I get bored.
It was close at one point.
It was really close at one point back when it was solid black and it looked really cool. And then all of a sudden, like 35, 36 happened, and like touring and everything just started going colorful on me. So.
I'm right there with
Salt
you.
and pepper, man. Salt.
This
and pepper.
this was red. This was all red 5 years
more
ago.
Salt now, but yeah.
Yeah, now you've got like you got the white coming in.
Yeah.
Amy's sitting back there going like, "What the hell are these guys talking about?" Jesus. He's like, "I don't even like beards."
Right?
That's not true.
That's
true.
I mean, that's cute and all. Just facial hair.
We've all got like we've got the different stages of beard growth right here in one.
Right. Kind of see the progression here.
It starts here, then it goes here.
Right.
It goes here.
And then
it starts with me, the no growth.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. The baby face.
There you go.
Save the best for last. I'm sorry.
There you go.
We all look like 30 years younger if we would shave our beards off. That's for sure, right?
Man, I don't know if I want to do that or not.
I look like a good. Yeah, I look like.
I did it one time. I was dating this girl, and she was all about the beard, and I shaved it off. And she was like very stern. She goes, "Don't ever shave again." I was like, "Is it that bad?" She was like, "Just don't ever shave again. Like I don't even know what to say. It doesn't even look like you. Like it's just like so weird. I feel like I'm cheating on you. Just don't shave again." So, I was like, okay, well, I guess I just need to keep the beard because obviously the clean shaven is not the look for me, right?
Yeah, I was talking to Ben, our bassist in my band, Intercourt, and Sunday was it? Yeah, last Sunday, and he was saying I haven't seen my chin in like 20 years or something.
Well, what was weird about it? He goes, "I haven't seen my chin in long pause." Or I think it was awkward. Seen mine, and then like a long pause. It was
doing the math.
Weird that it was just like, what is he about to say?
You're like waiting for it. Here it comes.
Yeah, it was too funny.
In Vegas, it was like there were so many dudes that had long hair and beards that there was so many times during the festival, someone would come up and be like, "Hey man, that was so much fun last night hanging out with you at the bar. It was cool." I was like in bed asleep, and I was just like, "Hey man, I know we all kind of look alike, but that wasn't me." Of course it was. It was you. I promise.
It was definitely you, man.
It wasn't me, man. It wasn't me.
Trust me.
Vegas.
It wasn't you at the wedding story in Vegas, was it?
It was my brother. My brother just got engaged.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really awesome. Happy for him. He dropped that bomb on me like 4 minutes before we all walked on stage. At the crowd, you could hear him. Lights are about to go dark on stage, and my brother puts his hands on my shoulders and says, "Hey, brother, I think I'm gonna ask Erica to marry me during the set." And I was like, "Oh man, all right.
Here we go."
I was like, "Let's go." I was like, "Wish you would give me a heads up. Would have got like Elvis or something up there to like introduce
right?
Would have planned accordingly.
But it actually worked out great. I didn't know what song he was going to do it in. We just were kind of flying by the seat of our pants, and right before he played Motorhead, he kind of gave me the nod, and I was like, all right. And it was great. There's so many videos of it, and I'm pretty sure he made her an engagement ring out of an E string because her Erica is her name. So yeah, it was just kind of one of those rock and roll kind of engagements where you know.
Damn, I missed that one.
Yeah,
I could have used an A
opportunity.
string.
Yeah.
I
was like, man, my brother is super clever, man. I was like, I dig that. You know, it's different.
Damn it, I could have saved so much money.
So, Kyle, are you currently engaged or married?
Oh, hell no, man.
So why don't you pull that wire out of your leg and hold on to it till your girl comes along?
This is my blood.
Right?
Yeah, total blood bond, right? I tried to find it, and I don't know what happened. I lost it somewhere, but I was like, maybe I should check to see if that thing's all rusted out or what exactly.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out soon, y'all. I guess I'll have to do an update.
Tomorrow morning should be pretty telling. Yeah. Or
the
the next time you mow the yard, you'll find it again. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the clock going right now, so we'll see what happens. Maybe on the middle of the show we start having some crazy fucking transformations.
Between that and Mike and Amy's vaccines today, there's no telling where this thing's going to take.
Man, we could all get real weird on camera today.
We're feeling real sorted right now.
Freaking arms.
But you did it. You did it. You got it.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
So what part of Texas are you and your brother from?
We're actually from Carrollton.
Carrollton, okay.
Yeah, born and raised up here, and we grew up in like South Carrollton, Farmers Branch kind of area, and then we moved up north in the middle of high school for me. So, yeah, I mean, it's I've always kind of lived in this area pretty much all my life. I lived in New York for a little bit when I was 18, and then I moved to California for a little bit, but ended up coming back to Texas. But for the most part, Carrollton's home, and it's close to a lot of stuff, and it's not as expensive as living in downtown. So but it's cool, man. It's I don't mind it. At 38 years old, I really could give a shit less where I live, honestly. Like, it's just like, it doesn't have to be the newest high-rise condo in Deep Ellum or whatever. Like, I'm just just doing what I can do just to make it to the next day. And especially with everything going on right now, man, it's just like, I feel like, all the priorities and stuff has kind of changed a little bit, what once was, meant a lot, I guess, doesn't really mean so much anymore,
Perspective.
I think a lot of people have that same, one way or another. It's not all the same for everyone, but
yeah,
that's a fact.
I understand. So you guys started, it was 2010 when you started Mothership?
Yeah, so it was the end of 2010.
Okay.
My brother and I were playing in a band called Break Vegas.
Okay, I was going to ask what you were doing before that.
Yeah, we did a lot of gigging around Deep Ellum. We did some crazy punk rock tours with that band where we had like one guarantee and we were going to go on tour for 2 weeks. And I don't know what we were doing. It was completely psychotic and rock and roll at the same time. But yeah, we basically just put a route together. We had one guarantee. We had 3 shows booked, and we're gonna tour and just figure it out for 2 weeks. Living in the van, no hotel rooms. So that band was together for a couple of years, and that was like our first touring. And then my brother and I were starting to get serious with wanting to create some new stuff, and so we ended up starting Mothership. And the end of 2010. My dad started playing drums a couple months after we had written 3 or 4 demo songs. And then we just started playing like motorcycle parties and, 4-hour gigs at the Harley Davidson dealerships, playing like ZZ Top and, 4-hour sets, 4 1-hour sets pretty much. So we'd never done that before. That's pretty brutal in the summertime outdoors and shit, So when we first started doing that, it was pretty tough to get used to. We'd be sneaking original songs in the set, even though they told us not to. just starting it off, like, that's how we started off getting those songs out there. But yeah, and then after that was the first chapter of Mothership, and then the second chapter was we got Judge in the band, and we started getting serious with it, and we wrote the first album, and we went on tour in 2012. I think it was our first U.S. tour. Yeah, so I mean, we haven't really, until recently, we hadn't really quit since.
So what's your dad's musical background that he was able to step in and play drums with you guys for a while?
He never really played.
Yeah.
In the past, he always was a huge music collector. I mean, we learned everything from all of his records and stuff. But he was really quick to pick up the drums. I want to say like maybe a year before we all started playing together, he got like a electric drum kit and started kind of just put it together a playlist, playing along with some AC/DC stuff, learning how to play, and quickly jumped into a kit. And then, we kind of needed some sort of drums to help us out these songs that we were writing. And he just kind of jumped in and learned on the way. And, now he's playing in Orthodox Fuzz, another Dallas Fort Worth band that's killer. They've been around for a while. And, yeah, so, I mean, I just saw him play a couple weeks ago. So he's still gigging, still playing music. And, yeah, it was really cool, man. I think that's a really, it's always a really cool story to have your dad and your brother playing with you. And
yeah,
it's not too many have got that story to tell.
That is very cool.
I gotta plug this laptop in 1 second.
All right.
Man, this thing is sucking the juice out, brother. I'm like, as you can see, I was really prepared for this interview. But you can keep asking me questions. I'm listening. So. I'm just trying to multitask here. Try not to stab myself again.
Peoples, here's your moment to shine. What you got?
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. Just because I have a beard means that. Yeah.
All right. Amy's like, no.
Whoa.
All right,
I'm
Brad.
also going to take the time to switch out my charger as well. That seemed like a good a time as any to switch out
technical difficulties. We'll take a quick pit
All right,
stop
so
here.
everybody's got everything together here.
Yeah. You and I do,
mean,
Mikey. So take it away, bro.
This is a good time to let everybody know that they can subscribe to our channel. You're live streaming on Facebook, on Twitch, and YouTube right now. So join in, do some commenting. We'll try to post, put your comments up on the screen and answer questions and all that good stuff. So be a part of it.
You guys are on a lot of platforms. That's cool. You got it all figured out.
We try. We're really trying.
It's a lot to keep keep up with, man. I mean, I remember when it was just like Facebook and Instagram and maybe Twitter, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like Twitch and YouTube and this and that and TikTok, and it's like,
let's not forget about MySpace.
Well, MySpace is ancient.
The original,
that's ancient.
Yeah.
That's like an Egyptian technology at this point, right?
But those Egyptians rocked it out though.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah. Hey, I remember MySpace. I actually, you might think I'm full of shit, but I'm pretty sure I was one of the first people on MySpace. And this is crazy because a friend and I, who I actually am working for right now, she's got a great clothing company. She's blowing up right now, and I'm helping her out. And but we go way back, and we were on a social site called Friendster, which was before MySpace, right? And so we had just joined Friendster. We're checking this out while we're downloading all of our music on Winamp, and all the what album should we download? Like on what was all those crazy download LimeWire and shit like that, yeah. And so she hit me in that. She's like, "Hey, Napster. This is called MySpace, and we should check this out." And I remember there was no one on this thing. I mean, it was like a barren wasteland when we set up our account and stuff. Like there was no other people to add. It was like we were our own friends, and Tom was our friend, and we're like, "Who the fuck is Tom?" You know, like what? This guy looks like a dork, man. But like, is he like a hacker? Like what? You know, like we're trying to figure out who Tom was.
The creator of MySpace.
Yeah,
probably,
he's got like the smile, like he's looking back with like the smile. You know, like we're like, yeah, exactly. We're like, who the fuck is this guy, right? I mean, and he looked way older than us at the time. You know.
I just remember everybody being like, "I'm in your top 8," or "Am I in your top 8?" No.
Yeah, people got pissed off. People got that's what,
mad.
You know. You'd make people salty. You'd switch your top 8 overnight when they woke up in the morning. You'd have your song changed, and your whole top 8 would be rearranged. Or you broke up with some girl, she was totally off your top 8. That just started, you know, all kind of hell broke loose.
And then you figured out you could do a top 16, or they added that.
Yeah,
function.
they added that later.
And then it was like just one after another. Just like I could have a top 8.
Like, all these fucking social media, it's like they just keep trying to outdo themselves to the point of destruction. You know, it's like we're gonna have a top 45 and we're gonna have a whole record, like we're gonna be able to do all this. It's like people are just like, dude, I just wanted the top 8 and like the music player and like the simplicity of it was so beautiful.
Story of how
Yeah.
And then you go to MySpace now and it's like, what the hell, dude? It's like I don't even know my login. I wish I did. There's so many great pictures just locked away in the vault.
They're not, and I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I can guarantee you they're not there anymore. That was definitely, you know, if you were in a band back then, you had your stuff all over there and playlists.
Absolutely.
And everything else. And now it's just anything that was there, it's pretty much not there. You might have like 1 or 2 pictures, but it's not anything. Like
I mean, it's been so long. It's just I had assumed that everything had been wiped off. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty much it's not worth looking at anymore.
Yeah, now it's like, I mean, I don't even really know. Everyone's talking like TikTok's like the next big thing, and I'm just like, man, you know, it's like a full-time job trying to keep up with all that shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I like Instagram, and I just tie the Instagram to our Facebook account. I just tie all those together and just post on one, and there you go. You know what I mean?
Everything else.
Yeah. But
I can't get into the TikTok. How old do I sound? That there TikTok.
Yeah, you know, I like to watch it. I have the app, and it's a good time killer. Like, it's funny. Like,
that's all it does is kill time.
Oh, it's a huge time suck.
It's a huge time sink for sure. But it's like I think about like people really spent like a week making one of those videos. Like all the editing, like all the music. I'm like, I don't know what's worse. People making the video, or my ass sitting up at 3 a.m. in bed watching these videos and just like laughing.
Well, what are they doing now? It's like the milk cartons or
the milk carton challenge.
Bro. And the best is
I'm up on it, guys. I'm up on it.
Did you hear about that? Some chick died in Dallas.
Yeah, she landed on her head or some shit.
No.
Yeah,
I video of like people that just like repetitive, like people.
Yeah, it was in Texas.
Terrible.
It's so like, why do it on concrete? Like, that's your first, like, here's your sign, you know what I mean? Like,
that's natural selection right there.
It really is. Like, I mean, do it on, like, I mean, I don't know, like, on the grass, you know?
Put on both sides.
Well, mattress would be, like, extra level, elite, I feel like. If you could do the mattress crates, then you're just a god, right? But
you need the mattress on either side of your milk crate so that your crates are in the middle, mattresses on either side for when you fall, you only fall on mattress.
Yeah, you know, I don't know, man. I've never been into viral stuff. Like, I've never seen something on the internet and been like, I have to do that right now.
You never smoked a Tide Pod?
No, I didn't, but I ate a Tide Pod. So that was pretty cool.
Did you really?
Yeah, I mean,
I thought it was Tide Stick. I thought it was Tide Stick.
Yeah, and then what happened? Like, did everyone just realize that it didn't taste good? Like, I mean, you know, like
it's like
it looks like candy. Yeah,
it's like tied to a stick.
They're like, guys, I don't think this is good for you.
I'm so old school. I watch those milk crate videos, and I'm like, hey, I need those for records.
Yeah,
I'm finding all these things. I can never find those when I'm hauling records. Where are these coming from?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what we have our records in.
I was like, hey, babe, I got like a few of these in the other room. Records. We'll just empty them out and we'll do it on the balcony.
Where are those guys putting all the records when they're climbing those things? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I could never find those things. And these people are finding like 30 of them. I'm like, what's going on? Like, have they been hoarding these forever, just waiting for the day? Like, staircase challenge. Let's go.
So who here did the ice bucket challenge?
I did the ice pick. I did.
It actually popped up on my memories today of me and my
Mine
brother
did last week.
together. So yeah,
Ice
we're right in
bucket
the time
challenge.
period.
I don't know if I did that or not. I'm not. What was that for? That was for like a cause.
ALS.
ALS. That's right.
But
that's
I also did donate to it as well. So it's
Yeah,
not just
that
about the ice buck challenge. It's also about donating, and I think it was like $10 or something like that. So,
Yeah.
but that one came up across my memories last week, actually.
That was a while ago, wasn't it? Was that 5 or 6 years ago?
2016.
Was it really that long ago?
It's been
Yeah.
a
5
while.
years.
Yeah,
The
it's been about 5
Facebook-
years.
Yeah, the Facebook memory stuff is just
It's hilarious.
it's
sad.
hilarious and sad at the
good
same time.
yeah.
It's like, it's like all the relationships you were in the past, and then all the weird dumb shit you wrote. Like, like what was I? Who was I back then? Like it almost sounded like it was a robot on some of the shit I typed in like 2012. It's just like, this is incredible. Like the whole journey of my Facebook life. Like how, it's crazy. But
y'all know about the staircase challenge? What's this about? Chattery.
Staircase
Is
challenge.
that just getting
he
drunk
may
and
be
having to walk
talking about
upstairs?
We love
True.
Doug, man. Chatteries.
I mean, I used
Actually,
to get a
the
sleeping
original
bag and go
staircase
down.
challenge. I think the original staircase challenge was trying to carry an 8x10 base cab up a staircase load-in.
At trees on that freaking gigantic. Like, all right, we got it. Going over.
Yeah, trees is easy in comparison. But there was a place in Houston called Rudyard's, and it's closed now, from what I was told. But I'm talking like, you looked up these staircase and you're just like, when we're done tonight, we're pushing this thing down the stairs. Like, I mean,
I'll pay for repairs. Get it down there.
I mean, we've loaded in some. I wish that we would have kept track of and taken a picture of every ridiculous load in, and I could have made a coffee book of it. And like, I'm sure people would get a kick out of it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not just talking in the States. I'm talking in Europe. I mean, we're playing places where like humans weren't built as big as me. You know what I mean? Like, we're walking into rooms where the ceilings are this high, and you're trying to load in your cabs like this. Playing on a stage where your head's this high. You can't move. It's crazy. But it would just be hilarious to just have like, I always thought those coffee books are so funny. Like, you could do pretty much anything you want and put it in a book. And
well, no, you got to do the coffee table book that's about coffee tables, like
yeah, they're great. You see those books, you sit there and you just mindlessly flip through them. Like, there's hardly any words. Yeah,
that's what we used to do before we had TikTok videos.
That was funny. I just posted a meme yesterday that was like this stick-figure dude reading the back of a Lysol bottle while he's like taking a crap, and it was like, this is what we did back in the 90s.
100%.
Reading the Lysol bottle.
I couldn't tell you what they put in Lysol anymore, but 20 years ago I could have. Yeah.
But I can tell you this.
Shit.
We had
I can tell you this. On the Lysol can, it does say it kills COVID.
Wow.
Absolutely. And
I mean, how many people had a basket for magazines in the bathroom?
Yep, had that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that was
still do.
But the magazines the magazines had to be like dated like 6 years prior. It was like, how long have you had these magazines?
Yeah.
I was at my brother's house the other day. He has Mad Magazine in the bucket, like
in the basket.
The basket, yeah.
The bathroom basket, yeah.
The basket, yeah. You had to have it in the basket.
I didn't know Mad Magazine was still even around, much less anyone had a subscription
it's been
to
around
it.
for
I
years.
steal the highlights magazines from the doctor's offices and bring those bad boys home.
Yeah, I did that too. I remember going to the dentist's office and just like being like, ooh, I'm gonna take this.
I don't have this copy of Ranger. Yeah.
Did you steal my magazine last time you were in here, Mr. Jewett? I don't think
Wasn't me.
I was just reading the articles.
it was my brother.
There you go. How far apart are you guys in age?
3 years.
Okay.
So
We got age gap between them.
Yeah, and I have a baby sister too. So everybody's 3 years apart. My parents, they definitely thought it out.
That's smart.
Whereas some people I know this day and time are just like, here we go, bang, 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 bang. I mean, like knocking them down, like we're building an army,
right?
You know, like I'm just like, oh my god.
But yeah, all the weddings and the college hit at one time, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah. Oh my god, jeez. But some people can handle that, man, and I got a lot of respect for them. They're super patient, and they just can. Me, I'm just like,
no.
Oh man, no.
I can't. Even
I love my niece.
I can't imagine that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh. Someday, Mike and Amy. Someday.
Ooh, you guys are all drinking. I don't even have a beer, man. This is how unprepared I am. I'm literally just. I'm looking for something to drink, and I have nothing.
People's down there on the haterade.
I could drink the blood.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I had alcohol. I just wasn't feeling it tonight.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
You only drink when you feel it. Man.
No, when I don't
we
want
have
to feel it.
different life ways.
Right.
I took I didn't drink for almost 2 weeks before Vegas, and I was like, at some point I will have a drink in Vegas, and I don't know when it's going to happen. And it was like Thursday, I had my first beer in Vegas, and by Sunday, it was full blown Vegas party. I mean, like, beers and shots and party. I mean, it's just like amazing how fast it goes. You know,
You got
like
4 days to make up for. Yeah.
How slippery you just drop back into it, man. You know, but
so I'm not drinking today, but tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I always say that when the sun's out, and then when the sun goes down, I'm like, man, a beer sounds really good right now.
Yeah.
You know,
you know what goes great with the sunset? Beer.
Cool
yeah,
beer.
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Oh man. So Amy, Mikey, you guys got any pressing questions? Anything for our friend Kyle? Not to put you on the spot. I feel like I ask all the questions.
Well, where's
you got all the records?
Oh well.
Right?
Yeah. Where is the best place for people to keep up with, what's going on with Mothership? What site? Since we were talking about social media, like, is it to go to your website or Facebook? We're
in the process of getting a new website up right now. But Instagram, Mothership USA, or Facebook, Facebook.com, Mothership USA. Those are the most active sites that we're on. Yeah. Twitter.
So are you guys using the same website? Because I went out there earlier doing some research, and there was, I think, the last show.
Yeah, that website
from 2019 or something. So y'all.
Yeah, that website's down.
Okay.
We're working on a new website. We just COVID hit, and it just kind of took the wind out of our sails, man. I mean, it's like
MothershipUSA.com is up. Is that not your?
It's up, but I don't think it's updated.
But it's not updated. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that is ours. And then I think MothershipIsLanded.com we had at one point. But I don't know. Like I said, I mean, once COVID hit, it just kind of, it took it is up. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, and I was looking at that, see what you had going on there. So I didn't know if.
Yeah, a couple of shows with the skull. That kind of hits home.
Yeah. That's
2019. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're updated, brother. You're only a cool band when you don't update your website.
Absolutely.
You're just like.
I had said earlier, there's so many other places to go to find information. I mean,
what's a website anymore? Yeah, everyone's website just redirects to their social media shit anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And also going along with that is, I know last summer I hit you and I think Judge up to get merch, because I know I was trying to, I was getting some extra money from the government, so I was like, hey, let's support.
Might as well spend it on your friends.
Let's support my friends that are in bands and buy merch. And so I spent like $200 on some merch from you guys, and you do have a lot of really cool merch. So, and I don't remember the.
Well, I just found the link.
That one.
The merch. That's I just put that up yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. I just shared it.
But we did have a licensing deal with Hot Leathers, which I think is probably where you bought the merch from, right?
I did.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, we just ended our deal with those guys in October. Great bunch of dudes, man. They helped us out so much. I mean, we had more merch than we knew what to do with on tour. Like, I mean, we literally had like that picture you're looking at right there looked like our merch setup on tour every night. Like, we had so much stuff to sell. It was crazy.
So I have a complaint though about your merch.
Yeah.
I like tank tops, band tank tops for specifically for girls. I want a band. I want a tank top.
Yeah. We do tank tops, honestly. This run of merch kind of caught us off guard. Like I said, I mean, we didn't have a licensing deal. I had to hit up like my oldest buddy that I knew that pressed shirts again. I felt like it was 2011. I hit him up. I'm like, hey, can you make us like a couple of shirts? Like, I mean, we need some hats. Like, it was just
it's such a rush because you didn't know when you were coming back, right? You know,
yeah.
It's like,
and we didn't have money. Like, you know, we basically just had to spend all the money, split it up between each other so we could all, like, you know, pay for our, you know, stuff. And yeah, so anyways, it was kind of a last minute thing. We normally do tank tops. That, because we'd always played biker parties and stuff, and you know, and band shows, and all the girls like the tank tops, and then so right now what you're looking at on the website merch is some stuff that we have left over from the shows and the festival. We've got a bunch of hats left, and then we're in the process of, like, you know, getting our merch back up to where it used to be with like colored shirts and like nicer hats and stuff like that. But it's like, man, when you're a band, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, it's not like,
for sure.
You can't. It's not just going to all be like, you know, 5 color print shirts, and you know, because you know it's rebuilding phase right now, man. To be honest with you, you know, and like you know, and without the consistency of shows happening all the time, and you know.
Well, just a heads up, Kyle, I just bought a shirt off the website, and the big cartel site, it didn't charge me for shipping.
Yeah, shipping on all of our merch right now. You know, not trying to, like, you know, rob people. I'm just trying to get rid of it so we can get some more money saved up to buy some new stuff. It's kind of where we're at, you know.
Band hustle is real.
Yeah,
right.
We've always been, you know, we've always knew from the beginning that that's what it takes to survive as a band. You got to have that hustle, and you got to give people, you know, multiple options of stuff to buy. And I always just think of it as like, when I go see a show, like, what do I want to see? You know, it's like, I've always bummed out when I see a band with like one shirt and like a sticker, and they were just so good. I'm like, God, I just want to buy more shit. You know what I mean? And so over the years, it just kind of became, you know, like, you know, we just need to get the best merch as possible. And and over the years, a lot of people have become to know us as having really good merchandise, you know, for sale. So yeah, you know, it is kind of weird to have to go feel like we're going back in the sense, but you know, it's like I said, COVID just it reset everything. I feel like we're like in the after COVID era of like civilization right now, you know, especially with like live music, and you know, everybody's like, you know, trying to figure out what to do, what not to do. You know, it's like, do you want to go to a concert? Do you feel safe? Like, there's so many like things going through people's heads where it used to just be like, hey, fuck it, it's Friday, we're getting drinks and we're going to the rock concert. You know, and now it's like,
absolutely.
Do I do this? Do I do this? Can I
bring a mask?
Do
I have my vaccination?
Do I have my card?
You know, don't have my Pfizer's license. Yeah. Yep. And it's gotten to the point now where you pick and choose them some. You know, it's not like, well, I'm going to go to a show Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we'll see what happens at work on Monday. Now you're like, okay, well,
is it outside? Is it inside?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is it inside? Is it standing room only? Am I going to have to see? I mean, you're right, though, Kyle. It's really kind of reset a lot of things.
Yeah. Pretty frustrating, too, you know, to have to, you know, like, where we've always lived a life of doing whatever the fuck we wanted to do and traveling and, you know, doing all this stuff. And, you know, now it's like you kind of have to, you know, things have changed, and, you know, it's like everybody's got to adapt, and, you know, it is what it is, you know, it's the way it goes.
Absolutely.
It's like you almost value when you do get to play a show, just because they're so far and few between that you're excited to play a show and happy.
Yeah, it's the same way to go into them.
I was talking with Pepper Keenan in Vegas. You know, Pepper's in Corrosion of Conformity and Down, and we had a good talk where
Pepper.
It was like we needed this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to me, the scariest thing is when you do book a show, and people don't realize it's like you do book a show, and then even all the way up to the end, you're just thinking, shit, it could be the day of the show that a member in the band or a member of the crew gets COVID, and then the whole thing shuts down. It's it's a freaking nightmare. So
I think my headphones are about to die.
Yeah, I was noticing that. It sounds like you're kind of popping in and out on the vocals there a little bit.
You can
Let me go grab some headphones
out. You probably don't have to have headphones. You're probably good without them. Yeah, you should be all right without them.
Maybe not.
You're muted. Hang on, let me unmute you. He got it. There you are.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're good.
All set.
Sweet. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, as long as it's not too echoey for you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like on Apollo 13 mission. Like things are going down. And then I hear like NASA coming in. They're like, you got 5% in the right ear. Like you need to make a move. It's like, okay. I'm Jim Lovell over here going like, okay, here we go. I got to plug this. I'm holding right now, my cord is a little bit too short, so I'm holding it into the laptop to keep it charging, which it looks like, according to my NASA calculations, the battery is going up.
That's fantastic. Well, we appreciate you taking the time and interviewing with us and you not being ready or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually normally the guy that's always ready and prepared, but today was just, I had so much to do, and I didn't expect to take friendly fire from the mower in the backyard, you know. But yeah, this is cool, man. I think you guys, I like everything going on. I actually have a Twitch too. I was starting to do it there during COVID and stuff, and I would just realize like how hard of a grind it is to get your Twitch followers up and stuff, to get like, you know, do all that. I was just like, I'd rather watch people and just laugh, and you know, I'm like, I don't have to do everything, you know.
Yeah. Well, and we're you know, just so you know, I mean, we obviously care about that, but you know, our biggest thing is just, you know, we love music, we love going to shows, and that's how we met. All of us going to shows like you were talking about earlier. It's like, you know, we probably wouldn't know each other outside of going to shows if it wasn't for shows. So
yeah, I mean, shows bring everyone I mean, I feel like the majority of my friends I'm either played in a band with or went to go see play, or music is kind of like the common theme in sounds like all of our lives, you know. It's
Absolutely.
And when we didn't have it for a while, it was deeply concerning, because it was like, I mean, you know, it was like I had to think about things I hadn't had to think about for like, you know, over a decade, you know, and it was like, fuck, you know, I literally didn't have a plan B. But that made us go so hard in plan A, you know what I mean? That we became successful, and we did work our asses off because we knew that's what we had. And then something like COVID happens and you're like, oh, interesting. Didn't even think about this curveball, you know.
No one did. Like, no one did. I mean, so many people lost their businesses, so many people lost their livelihoods, and just staying inside, even if all those things didn't hurt you, staying inside and people dealing with depression and stuff.
Well, like that. And I mean, like, dude, you go on like the airplanes now, and everyone's wired just so thin now, dude. I mean, everyone's a ticking time bomb. Like, I mean, if one dude looks at you the wrong way because your mask is down, or like something happens, I mean, people just lose it, dude. I mean, when you're driving in cars on the road, it's really concerning. I mean, yeah, like that, the mental side effects of this, I think, are things that no one's really talking about. You know, I think everyone's so concerned about this shot. Did you take it? Did you not take it? This place wants your paper, whatever. People aren't thinking about like, dude, like if things ever go back to normal, like, are people going to come out to shows like they used to whenever no one has to wear a mask? But they're going to be thinking like, well, what happens if someone's still sick? Well, what happens if I get
the next variant?
You know? Yeah. So it's like, I think that's, you know, that's kind of concerning to me, because we rely so much on an energy in front of the stage that requires a lot of people next to each other and just pushing out a wave of energy towards us, you know, and like, you know, we did a live stream, and it was the weirdest shit we've ever done, man. I mean,
that just came up on my memories.
We were playing 2 hours, and it's like you finish the song and bam, cut, dead silence.
Yeah,
you know, there's like looking at there's
you
like
said that
1,500 people watching, but you don't even know what they're doing. You know,
I work for you know, a professional sports team, and being in the arena stadium with nobody there, and these teams are playing, and you're used to 80,000, 100,000 people. I'm telling you, it is the weirdest.
Yeah, I mean, even like for the football players, it's hard to get like, you got to really dig down deep, you know, to like really find like that drive, because, you know, it's like you realize how much the fans and are important to all that stuff, you know, like music.
They're everything.
Sports.
Everything. Fans are everything.
Energy, you know, and it gets you pumped up, and you know, it's just nice to see people's faces, you know. So
that's your hype guy. So if you don't have your hype guy, you have to hype yourself up. And if you haven't mentally prepared yourself for that, it can be a whole new experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and that's what, and again, getting back to like, you know, why we're doing what we're doing, because we used to do this live in studio, and we didn't do video or any of that. And I think the thing is about this that people are really getting onto and showing interest in, and they're excited. I mean, we get lots of messages from people all the time, you know, about, man, we catch every show, you know, it's great. We feel like, you know, because they are able to be a part of, you know, like your fans are allowed to be here and say something or and be a part of it. And it's just, there's no other, you know, and even other bands, you know, they're like, oh man, what are we doing? So it's good to hear from other band members and stuff, you know, from other bands, how they're doing and what they're going through. And it just helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've just had to learn how to adapt and to put like another tool in your tool belt. You know, now you have to learn how to do internet video and like talking like this and things like that, you know, because, you know, it's not all going to be in person anymore. It's got to be a nice balance between both worlds, I feel like, you know, and you've seen technology in just the past year alone has had to really step up, and all these like video conferencing and all this stuff has had become, you know, on a whole different level than what it was 2 years ago, you know, when people were just using it to talk to a family member in another country or something, you know. Now it's like major companies are having like important business meetings every single morning, and the internet has got to be flying, and there can't be people cutting in and out, you know, like it's got to be, you know, super tight. Like this tonight, like, I mean, it's like, there's been zero glitching. It's crazy. It's like we're sitting in a room talking. It's pretty
Well, hey, you know, I appreciate you saying that, because, you know, a lot of work went into it. And I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, I work with you know, in the NFL draft and stuff. And this is what we do. We put out none of the scouts or anybody can be in the same room. So all these people are, you know, we have to set these up in their houses and different offices, and nobody can be anywhere near each other. And
yeah,
you know, and just having that experience kind of gave me this idea. And I came to Brad, and I was like, man, you know, because we hadn't done a radio show in a year. And I was like, Brad, hey man, what do you think about this? And he was like, man, that sounds great. Let's put it together. And I did, and I just, you know, did some research, a lot of research, and used the experience that I had, and came up with this. And this seemed to be, you know, as you can see, we've had, how many technical difficulties have we had, and we can overcome those and still not lose, you know, the continuity. And that's what conversation's about. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So,
awesome. I know.
I appreciate it.
What are you gonna say, Peoples?
Well, I was just gonna go back, you know, to the whole live show. Like I went to a sold out rock and roll metal show on Saturday. Literally sold out. I was at will call and watched the last ticket be bought. And, you know, that's, I don't know how many tens of thousands of people the place holds, but, you know, I'm also kind of connected in that world too, where, you know, I was waiting on guest list tickets for the show, but they were like, you can't come backstage. And I was like, that's cool. No problem. But it's not because they didn't want me to come backstage or me and my buddy to come backstage. It's because bands are touring now with COVID protocol. So like everyone has to have the shot, you know, you cannot come into contact with anybody that's not in the tour or in the band. It's very, very, you know, tight shipped. You know, there's no, and if you mess up once, you're out, period.
Yeah. You could run a tour. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was weird to see that, but it was also cool to go to a sold out show again. But
you know,
but still, you know,
baby steps, right? Baby steps. We're getting back there. You know, it's like, you know, the whole like the new chapter of COVID right now. It's like, you know, there's so many unknowns again because it was starting to feel like everything was kind of coming back and like it was feeling good, and now it's like, you know, now everybody's kind of like, all right, well, let's chill for a minute. Like, you know, like booking agents are not, you know, pretty much every tour you're seeing this year was a reschedule from 2020, you know? So
it's not even,
and maybe even 2019, to be honest with you. I mean, so it's like our booking agents, like, to be honest with you, this year, if it continues, shows keep happening, it's all going to be 2020 rehashes, right? So they're like 2020 or, you know, 2022. It's so crazy because how are we already in it's almost 2022. It's like, I feel like we've just been in a time warp the past 3 years. But like, that's going to be the year, I think, when, you know, I think you'll see a bunch of records coming out, because it's like with us, man, we want to put a record out, but it's like, we want to tour with an album.
Yeah, if you can't.
Yeah, you want to support that. Yeah, you want to.
Like, I don't want to go spend a bunch of money and time in a studio just to release it on Spotify. Like, I'm not, you know, that's not our model of music. We're not hip hoppers and pop stars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we're not just going to go in the studio to record one song to put it on Spotify. Like, we're going to go spend money to record a great album, and we're going to put it on record, and we're going to want to take it out to the different cities that we've been going to for over a decade, you know? And like, that's how we've always done it. And so we're just kind of waiting for, you know, some reassurance to know that we can, you know, go through with it and know that we're going to be able to hit the road and not have to worry about, you know, oh, by the way, you know, and a lot of bands in 2020 had records and they didn't get to tour them, and it's a bummer, you know.
Well, like, have you guys thought about doing, you know, maybe a music video or something like that? I know a lot of it seems like a lot of bands are doing music videos right now because it's kind of, you can't get out there and do a show, so it's kind of like the closest thing you can do to give your fans kind of a show, and you know, that kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, we've talked about it. We've never really been the big music video band, honestly. Like, I mean, we've always just been more of a live band, you know. Like, we've been the type of band where people were like, we got to go see them live, man. We got to go. Like, you know?
Absolutely.
And so we've never really. We have a video that's super old from the first album, but we've, you know, that's something we've talked about. You know,
the reason I bring that up is because it's something that we've been, you know, with this platform that we're doing right here, is we're able to play live videos. Like, I was able to bring up your website and stuff like that, show people, as we're able to sit here and talk and have the fans and stuff interact. So we can actually play a live video. We can play a music video in this realm, and everybody sit back and watch it and then talk about it.
That's cool.
So it's kind of interesting to think about. But
yeah, and I mean, like, that goes in with, like, you know, the whole, you know, money thing for us right now. Like, I mean, we make money off of playing live, you know, like, we sell more merch live than any merch we could ever sell on the internet.
Absolutely.
You know, merch sales after your set are the most important sales. You know, that's why you have a merch person. You know, there's so
many. Say that one more time for the bands in the back.
Yeah. Merch sales are most important after your set, and get someone to sell it for you, because if you have to run over there and you miss like 10 minutes of time, you're missing out on a lot of.
Absolutely.
And we learned that the hard way, man. I mean, there was a few years where we sold our own merch because we thought that we were saving money, and it was, you know, like, we didn't have to pay someone to do it. And then we realized, like, okay, well, it's not even close in comparison how much more you make having someone standing at your table all damn night long, you know?
Right.
Like,
well, and you think, I'm the band member, they want to speak to me, I'll sell more than the girl or whoever. I mean,
and there's
you're going to have a girl that's standing over the whole night, and she'll probably have a low cut shirt, and that's going to
right, absolutely, 100%. And it's like, And then there's a certain level of like business transactions that go on when there's not a band member. And then a band member comes up, signs some records, high fives people, takes a few pictures and leaves. But for the most part, it's just a nonstop machine where, you know, it's transactional stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but
not only that, but having a way to take credit cards is huge. You know? I mean, that's a big reason why we're doing what we're doing is bands, local bands, especially that we care about, local bands the most. We love national bands, but we're all about Texas because we're Texans. But
of course,
we're just trying to let people hear this because they need to hear this. You got to get there. You got
to get the music heard.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
You got to sell your merch. That's where your money is.
That advertising of having somebody wear your shirt that they see Joe Schmo that has no idea who Mothership is. They see your shirt worn on somebody else. They start up a conversation because, hey, that's a badass shirt. You just got free advertising. I mean, not free because that person had to pay for it, but they just got advertising because of that person wearing your shirt.
I have 7 Mothership shirts, a couple of patches and stuff. And almost daily when I wear them, somebody's asking me about it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because a lot of the older guys, they're like, hey, is that, George Clinton? And I'm like, no, it's not.
Hey, is that the Led Zeppelin cover?
That's what I was going to say, the Zeppelin cover, yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm so worn out between those two, man. It's so funny. It's like, but I think every band has something, right? Like, band has something that someone compares it to that's completely wrong, like whether it's like,
or it's just something stupid that they like.
Right.
For my band, Intercore, they're always like, "Oh, intercourse." Blah, blah, blah,
totally.
Blah, blah.
Yeah. You'll never
heard that one before,
Yeah. That's crazy. The merch thing for me, it's like I was walking around that festival this weekend and I saw like some of our older shirts and I just kind of like took a moment and I was like, man, it still feels so cool to see random people you have no idea who they are wearing your band shirt. It's like we did something right to that person to make them spend their hard-earned money on a t-shirt. Like, and it's that connection where it's like, think about it, man. Like, I mean, a lot of people aren't very fortunate with having been blessed with millions of dollars. Like, people work their ass off to make their money. And it's like, dude, like maybe you didn't, get another beer, another drink or whatever the case, just so you could buy a shirt, right? Or maybe you worked up to save up enough money to like unload at the Mothership merch table on Friday night. It's like, that still feels so cool, man. I mean, even after doing it as long as we've been doing it, is just, knowing that you can affect somebody enough with your music that they're willing to spend their money to support your band it's great, like, and it's something that I'm just super thankful for because it's like, I feel like if we had only been a band for a couple years and then COVID hit, like we may not have ever recovered from it. You know what I mean? Like we may not have been able to play shows ever again because like maybe we weren't, didn't have the notoriety that we do now, like on a national level. So there's a lot to be thankful for in the midst of all the chaos and kind of getting brought back down a few rungs, and then having to kind of dust yourself off and get back into it, and so, this past month has been us like, firing up the engines again and seeing if we could still remember how to fly the damn thing, so
what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Really.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure, man. And I think a lot of people are starting to understand that concept lately, like there's a lot more to be thankful for out there. And which is kind of crazy because it's like, I feel like people are angrier when I feel like people should all be like a little bit more like, I don't know, like a little more like thankful that they're still walking around on the planet. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know.
It is different because, typically it's these kind of things, in my experience and, not that I've lived a million years, but in my experience in this country is usually when times like this happen, we all kind of band together to get through it, and that's what I'm just hoping everybody kind of just gets that mindset. And and
I wish people were just a little bit more understanding and more empathetic and compassionate for other people's opinions that aren't the same as yours. I see so much hostility and fucking just pure hatred towards people that don't think the same way you think. And it's like, dude,
you can't even.
You're never going to be able to change somebody's mind. You're never going to be able to make someone think the exact same way you do. Like, just get over it and enjoy the company of other people and your friends, and stop trying to make people think the way you think, because that person may think you're full of shit. And so, like, what's the point of making someone so angry that you hate them and that you used to be friends with them? It's like, I see it every day on Facebook. People just fight with each other that have known each other for years, and it's just like, it's pointless, it's like,
and then it's over. It's like that. And the thing is what people don't realize is, like, if we all thought the same way, then it would be just boring as shit. We'd all listen to the same music. Yeah. We'd all have the same.
Well, we would be robots.
The same food.
Yeah. We would be complete robots. We'd be clones. We'd all walk the same. We'd look the same. We'd wear, full blown, just whatever, same. Everything would be.
We'd all have the same length beards.
Right.
We'd all.
Right.
I'm looking at you, people.
I'm looking at Amy. Come on now.
Like, no.
Amy, don't do it. Don't do it, Amy.
But that's kind of what we've always been about, that, man. It's like bringing people together and making new friends at the shows and stuff, and helping people out, man, getting people through rough times, and not trying to bark at people and tell them, like, hey, this is what I think and this is the right way to think and this is it, and I'm using my band platform to tell everyone what I feel. It's like, nah, man. I'm using my platform to play music and bring people together and keep that energy going, Well,
and I thought, music was supposed to be, when you write music, like I was always told, and I was brought up in a way where it's like music was like supposed to be interpreted by the listener however it made them feel.
Of course.
Right.
Not like, hey, I'm going to tell you after this song's over, I'm going to tell you what you're supposed to feel for this song.
And I see too much of that, man. And to be honest with you, it's fucking annoying. Like, like, I'm just like, shut up. Like, I mean, like, I'm just shut up, dude. Pick up the guitar, play the damn song, and no one really wants to hear you talk about whatever your personal fucking feelings about whatever topic in the world. It's like, just play the music, high five everyone, get off the stage, and then if you want to talk about something, go pull someone aside and talk about it. And it's like, you'll never catch us on stage making rants and shit and talking about, making our own little spotlight pedestal or whatever, man. Like, you come see our show, dude. It's a rock and roll show, man. It's amplified. It's loud. We're all headbanging. We're all rocking. It's 1.5 to 2 hour set, and that's it. I mean, bam, you just got abducted. We just dropped your ass back down to earth. Walk on with yourself. Believe whatever you want to believe.
I mean, and it's a rock show.
That's it.
It is a rock
Most
show.
of us go there to get away from that shit. I don't want to hear them up on stage talking about that. I'm here to get away from it.
Yeah, and I've never over the years I've never really understood that. But again, that's my opinion, and that's like, hey, it's like,
well, and there's bands, obviously like Rage Against the Machine, where that is what they do.
That is their platform,
but you got that going in.
Totally.
So that's different than I'm coming to a Mothership show and then I'm
not gonna play a song and I'm just gonna talk for 13 minutes.
You know what I'm saying? For like 15 minutes, you're like,
because I've got 200, 300 people standing there looking at me on the microphone, right? It's Howard.
Yes. I am not on a power trip.
Yeah. All right, listen up, my followers. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm trying to keep things light. I went through a dark period and I was depressed and angry and all those emotions. And I realized that, if everyone's going through those emotions, like, I want to try to just like maybe be, a little bit, more on the positive side where I can help someone maybe through a time, like where they could reach out and talk or come see a show or something. And it's not all heavy vibes, but yeah, man.
Can't we get back to that where we're just,
I really think we can, like, I think it's going to get better. I think it's just like, I think it's just going to take a little bit of time, man, and I hope like once it's done and everyone's just like, everyone can find some peace, man, because right now it's like there's a lot of people that are just really angry and have a lot of aggression, and it's like
peace to all those people who need some
Dude,
peace.
you've got like a flight attendants taking like hand-to-hand combat classes because like
Right.
they've got to learn how to fight
ridiculous.
on Delta Airlines because some dude's about to have a complete meltdown because the lady told him to put his mask on. And I was on a flight, and this guy is like, he's coughing all over the place. He's got his mask down on below his face. And it's like, I'm not the type of person that's going to tell someone to do something like, hey, put your mask. It's like, again, if the dude's going to sit there and not, whatever, man. But the flight attendant was being super nice, and he just started getting this all huffy puffy about it, and I'm just like, dude, relax. Like it's literally a 2-hour flight. If you go to bed right now, you'll wake up and we'll be landing, and you'll be off the plane, and you'll be just fine.
yeah, seriously. Like,
but she ruined his day because he didn't want to put his damn, it's like,
yeah, the one guy that's breathing the airplane, the recirculated air, that piece of cloth on his face is going to save us all. Yeah,
and again, it has really nothing to do with like, it's like, it's just like, don't get pissed off at the. Like, I don't care what you believe in. If you want to wear it, wear it. If you don't want to wear it, don't wear it. If you want to wear it, wear it. That's fine.
Exactly.
But if the flight attendant is literally doing her job, and you're going to try to fight her because you've got some problems, bro.
Like you knew what the rules were before you got on the plane. So that's exactly what I was talking about with like a Rage Against the Machine concert. I know I'm going to a Rage Against the Machine concert. I'm good. I'm going to hear some political music.
Right.
I know if I get on Delta, I'm going to be required to wear a mask.
Yeah.
So
like I always keep like a tight lid on. I always keep a tight lid on everything because I just feel like whatever I believe personally is my personal beliefs about things. Who I vote for, things like that. That's what I believe in, man. And if I don't think you can change the way people think. It's like I feel like if anything, you're just gonna like separate your fan base instantly when you start saying things, when you start getting up there and preaching about a certain thing. Like everyone out there's got different views and different points, and they don't.
Well, the thing I think most people don't realize is that like the reason why people have the beliefs they have, no matter what their opinion is nobody is like thinks that the way that they believe is for a bad reason. Totally. Everybody truly believes the reason why they have the beliefs that they have, whether you believe, agree with them or not. That person really believes that they're doing something good and that what they believe in is the right thing.
Right.
So everybody's trying to come from a good place.
Right.
But nobody wants to hear that. Everybody's, oh, you like this or you like that.
And it's hard for a lot of people to understand that other people think things are right in their head that don't agree with they have, and it's very, it can be very elementary in that thought process and understanding that all 5 of us looking at each other right now may all think 5 completely different things about a topic, but we can still get along and find a common ground for as human beings and as peers to, rise above the pettiness that's really killing a lot of our society, especially in a society that's hurting so bad for a positive, that's why I love music, man, because I've always thought that music was such a great way to just bring people together of just totally different backgrounds, it's like, and that's what I love about Mothership shows is we'll have like punk rockers and bikers and hippies and businessmen and like bartenders. And I mean, you name it, like we've got the full gambit of like fan base. And I love seeing that, it's not just like we see the same, 50 dudes in the crowd. I mean, there's so much diversity and I love that, I love that our music can reach so many different types of human beings, and can you really, reach out there. So, but I've always just thought music is such a great healing medium, and like
therapy
and being able to play in the middle of a pandemic. And yeah, we got a little bit of backlash from people that are like, oh, well, that doesn't look too safe or blah, blah, blah. Right. But it's like, sometimes you just got to keep your head down and, and do what you got.
It's a catch-22, man. It's like you got to do what you love and you got to make a living. And, you guys are not probably around all the people that are out there, but then you're supposed to be responsible for what the venue does, and but yet the venue will blame you for, it's like, and I don't want to say that about all venues, but
yeah,
it's like everybody wants to point here, and it's like, how about we all just take personal responsibility and do what's right. If you have people in your life and you don't want to get vaccinated, or you do want to get vaccinated, you know what's best. Your mother is high risk, then you need to take precautions for that. And individually, everybody's different.
Yeah, 100%.
And so,
but I'm just happy we got a few shows in, man. To be honest with you, I was really hoping we were going to play some music this year. So, I mean, I don't know if we're going to play any more this year. We've had maybe a couple of opportunities to play a few more shows before the year's done. But, hey, man, we're taking the wins when we can get them. And like this past week and this month, we've had, 3 really good wins as far as music is concerned in our lives. So, we'll take it, and then we'll continue to do what we got to do to get prepared for whatever the next chapter is in this business, and and how it's going to look from here on out.
Well, we appreciate that here, I can guarantee you, and we're just happy you joined us, and hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll do it again, and next time it'll even be more progression in what we're going on in a good way. So,
and hopefully it won't be so heavy, and we'll just be talking about tours and all the craziness and all
the next record,
all the debauchery of rock and roll and heavy metal and all the but hey, hey, it is what it is. I'm glad you guys had me on the show. I love what you guys are doing, man. Happy to do it. Sorry I was late, but I think I got it figured out now.
Well, that makes the next time better, So we'll hopefully be more prepared for you as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
Cool, I appreciate you guys. Good questions, and hope you guys stay safe. And we'll see you at a show soon, hopefully. Okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, Kyle. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kyle.
All right, y'all. Peace.